thoughts, and emotions. Those are mostly, and sensations in the body. So there's more to discover in the four foundations of mindfulness, but as you sit, if you put your attention on one of those places, then you know you're in the present moment. First foundation of mindfulness is the body. So breath is in the body and sensations are in the body. And what's great about our bodies is that they don't ever leave the present moment. They don't go outside of it. All of the experiences are right there. So it's really a grounding thing. It's a gross object, as in a very apparent object, not as in disgusting. It's bodies can be that too, but I don't mean it that way. No. Actually, that's one of the contemplations in the four foundations to reflect on repulsiveness of the body. It's not something people are necessarily drawn to, but it has its benefits. Anyways, um, breath. So knowing that you're breathing in and knowing that you're breathing out to bring your attention to the present moment. But with mindfulness, we don't keep attention right at the same place. So if you have a concentration object, you're coming back to the same mantra, the same visualization, one thing called a single pointed attention. With mindfulness, the mind moves, right? And it can move. We're not trying to marry the breath. The breath is just grounding the attention to what's happening. It's a neutral object and it's calming for our minds to watch. But when other things arise, we want to explore and observe the whole mind-body process and really all of our thoughts. What do our thoughts do as we're sitting here? We're trying to see that, the planning that arises. So you don't want to treat the mind like, no, don't do that. No, don't think. No, don't remember. I'm trying to meditate, Instead, it's like, oh, yeah, remembering. And then gently come back to the breath. Oh, planning. Oh, rehearsing, ruminating. And then same thing with emotions that arise. All of them do in this journey and quest that is mindfulness meditation. As we show up onto our cushions here, we're taking an inner journey and quest through the peaks and valleys of the mind and through the depths and the swamps. And so when they come up, you want them to really boredom. Okay, boredom, sitting with it, examining it, not running from it, which is what we usually do. Anger, worry, fears, and then comfortable, positive emotion, calm, clarity, happiness, joy, whatever is there is welcome. We want to study all of it. Study not from an analytical thing, but a way, but from a direct experience. What is this like? You're feeling it from the inside, aware of it. Okay, this is the mind and this is the body in this moment. This is how it is. And the effort of meditation practice is a lot different than how we extend effort in our lives, where there might be a kind of pushing forward or rush to get through to the next thing. Do you guys ever do that? Yeah. Driving to the next thing, working through the next thing, dishes till the next thing. I remember being out to dinner with my family sometimes, and that energy would still be there. Like, oh, even at dinner, we're just getting through it. Now check, pay the bill, go, next thing, right? Yeah. So meditation is done with, there's, at its best, and we have to kind of find our way into it. It's really relaxed, no pressure on ourselves, very pure. And this awareness that we have in us already, this pure awareness, is extremely healing. So think of applying this pure awareness to whatever arises for you in your meditation practice. And let your heart line up with whatever arises rather than being at odds with it or shaming it or thinking you shouldn't be feeling whatever you're feeling. I mean, I love that about mindfulness. It's like it's the reality. This is reality. I'm angry if that's what it is, or I'm sad if that's what it is, or I'm worried, or I'm distracted, or the mind is filled with thoughts now, or desire, or whatever. So that's just the isness is okay. That's the practice of mindfulness. So set up a comfortable posture. And bringing your attention inwards, allow yourself to let go of any gripping or holding in your body. Relaxing around your jaw and the pit of your stomach. And you can take any kind of breath that would help you to release tension, that would feel good in your body. And give yourself permission to put down the duties, your work, the pressures in your relationships, and importantly, the self-imposed pressure. Allow yourself to relax into the simplicity of one job, one thing to do, to be aware in the present moment. Let your breath be natural. Notice where you feel the movement, the touch of the breath. Or even just the awareness that you are breathing in and breathing out. And I recommend the noting technique, noting in the mind, inhaling as you breathe in, exhaling as you breathe out. And inclining the mind towards kindness towards yourself, compassion and forgiveness. In fact, prioritize kindness, prioritize forgiveness, self-forgiveness. And the mind wanders frequently, simply noticing, noting, wondering, or planning, or remembering. And gently reconnect with the breath. Bring your awareness to the inner ear. Awareness of each sound as it touches your ear. Noting, hearing. And gently reconnecting with the breath. Each moment of awareness, a moment of protection for your heart. Doing our practice just one moment at a time. Let your whole nervous system settle into the present moment. And this one breath. Bringing your awareness to your state of consciousness at this moment without judgment. naming any mind state present, feeling that in your body. Not trying to change or manipulate or control how we feel, letting emotions, mind states come and go. And always returning to the breath. And bringing your attention to a touch point in your body, your seat, on the cushion, or your hands. And observe the experience there, vibration, tingling, heat or coolness, hardness or softness. Allowing the present moment to reveal itself to you. And then again, always coming back to the breath. Keeping the mind out of trouble. And keeping your clarity in the practice, in a relaxed, persistent energy. At the same time, let go of all shoulds and all judgments. Give your heart some freedom. By letting go of all shame. That's the space in your heart, keeping the awareness with the breath, riding the wave of the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Allow yourself to rest in the silence of other people's practice. Taking it in as nourishment for your heart, as a break for your mind. I'll ring the bell for the end of the sit. When I do, listen to the sound of the bell until you don't hear it anymore. Beautiful practice tonight, everyone. Thank you. You can always tell when people are really practicing. Do you know how? It gets quiet. When you're not practicing, and if you just like kind of are sitting there thinking, the body will move. You'll feel restless. You'll want to move. Yeah. I have a few different things I would talk about tonight, but I would like to open it a little bit more in conversation because this isn't like a weekly regular group. This isn't a group of people that I know. Some of you I know well, but not all of you. So what I'd like to ask is, how's life? How's it going? What brings you to meditation practice? I can share with me what brought me to meditation practice was life wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. I felt frustrated, and so I sought something that I thought might help. Well, we might come for various reasons. Usually it's some kind of stress reduction. Anybody drawn to meditation for that? Yeah, good. It does that. Or a spiritual path. Is anybody drawn to finding a good and connecting with a deeper spiritual path? Great. Does that too. Stress and the end of stress. Was there a moment for you, anything that happened in particular in your life where you're like, I'm going to try that meditation? Anybody want to share? I'm going to just pick you in the back. Yeah.
Can I give you the mic? Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Nick. Thank you. It's been great being here tonight. I started as just like a kind of like a morning routine that just stuck. Like someone recommended it to me.
Yeah, but I mean before that, why would you even try it? Why would you even do it? What were you seeking?
It was really just like a gentle suggestion. It was like
Seemed interesting.
it seemed
Seemed
interesting.
like you could get a benefit from it.
Yeah, it was just
Good.
intriguing, and then
Yeah.
it just opened a door.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else have anything, Frida? Yeah.
I got so stressed at work that I had a moment where I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I was walking around at night in Santa Monica
Hmm.
and I took a break from work, and this was better than getting on medication,
Oh,
which
yeah,
was the path that was recommended to me. So
right.
I did not do that. I did this instead.
And has it helped?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Hi guys, I'm Brooke. I started really because not only for spiritual reasons, but to just fully accept emotions as they come. Because I
Mhm.
have a lot of, I don't want this, I don't want this, a lot of fighting with myself.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Good, good. No right or wrong reason. Usually it's for, some kind of painful experience, or it can be something like an interest, but maybe it's a breakup, maybe it's a loss of a relationship or a job or something like that. Life went in a way that you didn't expect. That's going to happen to all of us at any time. And so that will bring us to start looking for something a little bit more deeper. What I found is I dove into practice early on, and I really dove into it. I took to it with a lot of heart, and took the practices of trying to be a kinder person really to heart, and just really saw this profound shift, and I've never stopped seeing any of that, and have felt these, inner transformations that are just I never knew would be even possible. Um, I would like to talk a little bit about clinging. Do you guys like this word? The word, not the action. Does anybody cling in here? Okay, yes, I know you do. Clinging is a translation of a word, upadana. Upadana, attachment is another translation of that word. I think clinging's a better one. The Buddha talked about clinging to very specific things. He didn't say people. He said clinging to pleasant or pleasant experiences. And conversely, the relationship with pain, where you push something away, is also upadana. So we might not call that, but this kind of like pushing and pulling of pleasure and pain. And then holding on to our ideas about things. And then holding on to views. I won't go into that one, but our ideas about things. That's where we cling in life mostly, and pleasure and pain, and then to our ideas about things. So the Buddha never said, don't cling to people. He said, don't cling to pleasure with people. Don't cling to your ideas about people. When somebody's behaving in some way and you think they should be doing something else, that's where we start to cling. We cling to our emotional world too. We cling in all kinds of ways. We try to adhere the mind onto circumstances, and the life is always changing, and we do that through our ideas, clinging to an idea. Direct experience, as we watched living in the present moment, is constantly changing. Like sound is there for an instant. Everything is just there for an instant. The breath is coming and going, and the breath is made up of all of these sensations. So that's life and all of its directness, our direct experience. It's just constantly changing. And then the mind tells a story about it and adheres to the story. And there's where the clinging is. And that is when we live out of harmony with life. And this analogy was something the Buddha talked about all the time, to live in tune with life. So it's clinging that makes us live out of harmony with life. And we cannot say to the mind, don't cling. It doesn't work. You can incline the mind to let go. Inclining the mind to let go is really helpful. And we can find it in the physical body, where tension and tightness is usually because of a clinging in the mind and the physical body. Because when you really let go, there's flow of energy through your body. You can feel it on a physical level. The heart will start to feel really open. And so these two are very related. You can have this deep, like, understanding of like an emotion, a thought you were clinging to. And when you release it, some release in the body will happen. It's very healing. And the exposure of our heart and mind through mindfulness, that is exactly what will happen. And so we're in this state of clinging so very often. And mindfulness as a practice, as I said, will definitely heal it. On my mind today has been a colleague of ours, and many of you might know Beth as a teacher. Beth, we got word that her daughter is in hospice now. So we've known for a while that she's ill, and now it's kind of gone to where it's going. And, you know, that's a big one. The Buddha said losing a child is the biggest pain that one can go through in life. And when I heard about it as her friend, there's been so many moments where I'm like, okay, I have to take that in for a second, but I've been busy, you know, like I got my day. I can't even think about that right now because it's going to be big for me, you know. And that was a few moments, but I had a chance to finally, she asked me to share the news with people at Inside LA, so I had to do some relating around it. And then I started to practice and let myself feel all of that. Empathy, it was empathy. I could feel what she must be feeling as a mother myself. So feeling the empathy of what her loss is, what she's going through, what her daughter's going through, what her family's going through. And then I held it in this space of Karuna. And Karuna is one of the things, compassion, that helps to release. It's called a liberating quality of the heart, because when it's there, there's a letting go state. And it can get confusing. It's not a disconnected feeling, and it's not, what is that word? Indifferent. It's deeply connected, but then without the pain. So I cried for a while at first, and then I meditated, and then I really touched into that Karuna. The words were, may they be surrounded with love and ease during this transition. And I held an image of them in my mind with all of that, and deep peace came over. And that's just a pointer of and then in that there was no more clinging. I could feel all of my clinging of wanting her to be alive still, you know, wanting Beth to be, clinging to an idea of a certain condition. Let go. It's like the whole body, it just let go, you know. So this is what we practice, and it doesn't always come up naturally for us. Sometimes it will just be natural if we practice enough. But that letting go is a deeply connected state to what the reality is. We're not avoiding it anymore. I wanted to avoid all of those feelings for a while, you know. The part of my mind, like, I can't think about this. I can't go here, you know. And then turning towards it, using the practice, it's so healing too, and we can bear even that, the most difficult thing. So that being the most difficult thing, we can do that in small ways in our life too. The small grudges that we're holding, the small, you know, grievances that we have with people, those things that we hold on to that are obstructions to our own health and our own well-being. And we don't want to turn towards those sometimes. Even the feeling of boredom, something smaller. You know, we don't want to turn towards that sometimes. You're clinging to the stories that boredom is telling us. This moment's not enough. You need something else. Go, whatever. So all these ways the mind is adhering to thoughts, ideas, and views that fragments the heart, that puts a box around our heart. And the freedom from that is the potential of what this practice is. And it's through these tiny letting goes. So this one with Beth was like such a big letting go for me internally. And because of that, it's a big feeling of peace that comes. And so often you hear people that, life has brought them to their knees in all kinds of ways, feel a sense of gratitude for that experience because, the very thing they just never wanted to go through or wanted to avoid was the very thing that made them find a deep kind of peace and letting go and surrender to life as it is. Because life is going to do what it does, right? And we can try to control and manipulate it, but it's still going to do what it does. And our hearts can be open, that we don't have to avoid any part of it, not the external, and then not our own internal response to it. But we are doing a lot of trying to avoid. And it's just a subconscious thought of Mara saying you can't experience that. You have to run away from that. You have to cover that up. With mindfulness, and even tonight, did you sit with anything difficult emotionally tonight? Anybody have a difficulty come? Most of my sits had something occurring that was, a little worry, a little judgment, or a lot anger, fear, or whatever. So all of those little moments of just being with that, being with that, being with that, it makes it that we can hold the whole world. And that's so big and deeply gratifying. Nothing is so satisfying. Nothing is so gratifying as that. So mindfulness helps with the letting go. And then the Brahma Viharas help with the letting go as practice. Brahma Viharas being loving kindness, Karuna, compassion. And then the others are mudita and equanimity. I won't go too much into them. When those qualities are in our hearts, they're mutually exclusive with clinging. So they're called boundless precisely because this clinging creates a boundary in the heart. And I'm not talking about a healthy one. I'm talking about a prison, like walls. It puts walls around the heart. Clinging does. Adhering to the story. That story is this limited view when reality is this something else, right? Yeah. Those in opposition to each other, suffering. Not in opposition of each other, no more suffering. An open heart. That's possible. It's liberating. It's freeing. And it takes, the spiritual discipline, the practices to get there. Life is guiding us there, huh? Whatever shows up on our path. I love the Rumi quote, this place where you are now, God circled on a map for you. We're where we're supposed to be. The challenges we are supposed to feel, the feelings we're having, we're supposed to have them. They're all karmic connections. The relationships in our life could not be otherwise. You're meeting these people for a reason, these presidents for a reason, these whoever's for you. They're all part of the path. Your relationship to them is part of your karma. Everybody is. That's what karma is. It's relationships. We're meeting each other because we're drawn on a karmic level to each other. How we respond to these relationships will dictate what comes to us in the future in our life. So it's important to understand all of us as part of the path, all of where you are as part of your path, exactly as it's supposed to be. And it's empowering to think of it that way. I heard of a study that was done. I actually wanted to look at it more before I introduced the idea, but I think I have the concept enough to share that there's somebody that studied, there's two different mindset sets. One they called a growth mindset, and the other something like a static mindset. Does that mean same, staying the same? That does mean staying the same, yeah. Fixed, that's it, fixed. That's exactly the word they use. And the study of people that thinking they are a fixed thing and measuring their success in the world or whatever. It's an interesting concept, having studied the mind, for I know that we are not fixed things at all and that we are changeable. We might be experiencing very similar emotions that we were for the last 10 years or whatever, but if we apply the practice, that will change, and it can change. So people that have a growth mindset believe that they can like become better at something. They go into a task and they try to do this thing. They know they can improve at it. They know there'll be change. They trust there'll be change. So we need that mindset within our own meditation practice, because we are changing beings and we can change the kind of amount of suffering that we've been used to. We surely will. We can't not if we apply the tools of practice. You change in ways that you didn't even want to necessarily, but it's always for the better. It's never been for the worse for me. It's just awareness, you know. Awareness makes things align with harmony. So maybe we all grow and change together and find some relief from our suffering, find some relief from our clinging. May our hearts open, all of us.